Hey, Jake here. First off, thank you for listening to Season 1. That's awesome. As you probably noticed, these episodes have different cover art and go by a different name. What happened is we decided to rebrand to Welcome to Game Corp after Season 1. Don't worry though, Season 1 isn't lacking in quality by any means. In fact, a ton of amazing moments are contained in Season 1, plus you get to meet many of our crazy coworkers for the first time. Thanks again for listening, and welcome to Game Corp.
Hello there, I'm Terry. Head to Head, a video game podcast, is about three rad video game journalists set in the fictional offices of the evil conglomerate Game Corp. The show contains scenes of narrative elements, some mature content, and a whole lot of immature content. Enjoy the show.
Listen up, numbskulls. You all fancy yourselves some sort of activist, huh? A couple of Robin Hoods who steal from the rich and give to the podcast?
What? What do you mean? I don't understand.
Save it, you no-nut neckbeard nerd. Your department is stealing money from the company.
What are you talking about? We're not stealing from the company, are we?
No, dude, of course not.
Oh, is that so? Well, I received this quarter's financial reports, and it seems your podcast is spending triple what it was projected for. That's not all. Yesman even found some interesting expenditures in the books. An espresso machine, foosball table, massage chairs.
But we didn't order any of those things.
Oh, then what are those?
Oh, that's just our espresso machine, foosball table, and massage. Oh, shit. Yep, I see.
Wait, hold on a minute. Those things just kind of showed up here one day. I mean, I figured corporate was just showing its appreciation for all of our hard work.
Yeah, good one. But this is no time for jokes. This is serious. No. One of you has been secretly embezzling funds for personal gain and skimming money off of the top.
How is that even possible?
Well, nobody in corporate really knows what a podcast costs, or does, or really even what it is. Honestly, in the beginning I had all those drop pods installed because I thought they would help deliver podcasts or something, but then I found out it's audio downloads whatever. Anyways, the point is, one of you is using the department's expense books like a blank check. It's kind of genius, actually. I wish I thought of it at first.
Oh, gee, thanks.
What?
Oh, I didn't do it. I like compliments.
So, what now? We have to prove we're innocent or something?
No, the paperwork doesn't lie. One of you is guilty. You just need to figure out which one of you it is and turn them in by the end of the day. Or else...
Or else we're all fired.
What? For a white-collar crime? No, you'll just have your parking revoked and have to pay to park at the garage, half a mile away. Wait, no, that doesn't feel right. Alright, then you're all fired. There we go. That feels better.
Well, I guess you could say...
No, just don't, dude. Not the episode.
But...
No.
Mm-mm.
Welcome to the 8th episode of Head to Head, a video game podcast, brought to you by Game Corp, the totally not evil video game media conglomerate. Upper management, in their infinite wisdom, has hand-chosen us, a couple of low-level employees with zero experience, to serve as your host in this head-to-head, no-holds-barred matchup between two games to see which will stand triumphant. I'm Cowboy.
I'm Jake.
And I'm JB, a.k.a. Jealous Boner.
Oh, buddy.
Do you know what AKA means?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. All right.
That's what people call me.
In today's battle, we'll be facing two contenders for the title of Goddamn Difficult Disney Duck Game with DuckTales and Darkwing Duck. All right, so we don't really get topical on this show. I mean, we record ahead and all that stuff. There's a little magic for you. We pre-record. Of course we do. Of course we do, because corporate wants it that way. But anyway, we really don't talk about fucking daily, day-to-day stuff. We don't talk about drama, things like that. But this is too juicy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point in time, today, as we're recording, we know about the fucking stock market craze that is, average Joe Schmoes are memeing themselves into big money by investing in, GameStop and AMC and others.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's right.
I thought you were going to talk about the Bernie meme. Bernie with gloves on.
With the mittens. He's so dang cute. That Bernie with his mittens.
I don't get it at all, dude. I don't get, why is it a meme? Why is Bernie in mittens a meme?
He's adorable.
Is that what it is? Because he's an old man, dude. Old men are not adorable.
I beg to differ.
Well, then beg, because I just...
I'm sorry, Cowboy, come on, man. Please, think they're cute. Anyway, so yeah.
All right.
Here's something about stock markets. I don't fucking know anything about them. I just learned what shorting means, and I only learned it so I could understand what was going on. Can you guys talk about it? Can you guys teach me what's going on for a second?
JB, you're into stocks. I watched the movie The Big Short, which is a great movie, and so I have a little bit of understanding. But do you know how this all works out?
Kinda. It's just so basically a bunch of people are happy and I'm sad, I think is how this shakes down.
I define things subjectively. Here's what it means.
So I do have a pretty diversified portfolio, and at one point in time I did have GameStop stock because, like a lot of people last year, they looked at they're called fundamentals, right? They look at the graphs and the charts and the news surrounding the company, and they go, hey, GameStop is positioning itself in a really good place, right? They have new leadership. They have new plans for putting themselves into the online market, which was one of the biggest reasons why people thought GameStop was going to go under, was because, well, we have Amazon, we have Steam, we have Epic, we have all these different online distributors. Why do we need to go into a big box store?
Going the way of Blockbuster.
Exactly. That was the big kind of catchphrase. Well, a lot of people looked at it, myself included, and went, that's a lot of negative press, too much negative press. In reality, they're going to be fine for a little bit, like at least another handful of years. They're not going Blockbuster today, because a lot of people still like getting the game and getting the instruction booklet and getting the collector's edition and actually owning it. Because, I mean, if you buy a game on Steam and Steam goes down, they say you'll get to keep your game, but do you get to?
You don't technically own the game. You own the rights to access the game. And there's a bunch of legal stuff. So people come out about the BS about Steam and Epic and all that. So yeah, you're right in that regard.
Right. So a lot of people went, okay, so GameStop is going to start going up. Well, all of these big companies, like hedge funds, which is a group of people with all the money, and they say, we own the stock market, so we can do whatever we want whenever we want, basically, is the idea.
Yeah.
So they went, no. We have money in shorts, which are like pants, but shorter. And
I'm starting to get
layman description tonight.
And they said, the thing about shorts is, if you're betting on pants and we're betting on shorts, we're going to lose.
God damn it.
So now we need to invest in more shorts. And what they ended up doing was investing in 140% of all the potential shorts in the world. They bet more shorts than shorts were available, basically. And that created what's called it eventually created a squeeze. And what the squeeze is basically all these big hedge funds are betting on GameStop to go bankrupt. So all of these other people started going, no, they're not going bankrupt. So we're going to put in actual stocks so that we're helping increase the price, and we're going to make money because they're going to rebound. And also all these hedge funds are going to lose money.
Yeah.
Well, then Reddit got a hold of it, right? And it's not just Reddit. A bunch of other hedge funds got a hold of it. Reddit is patting themselves on the back for this, but they move millions of stocks, and hedge funds move billions to trillions of stocks.
Yeah.
There's no way Reddit could have done this on their own. So a bunch of smart investors and hedge funds were also backing the Reddit play, which was, let's all invest in GameStop. Let's buy their stocks. We'll shoot it to the moon. And all these hedge funds are going to go cry about how they're losing all this money. and we're going to get revenge on, what happened in 2008, basically. And it worked. It worked, and it's still working. It's kind of crazy. So a bunch of people made a lot of money, and a bunch of man, that's so hard to say. Hedge funds. Yeah.
Head fudge.
The head fudges lost a ton of money because their heads were filled with fudge, man.
Okay.
So
yeah, I ended up losing money too. Well, potential money. Yeah. So I had GameStop stock, and I wasn't smart enough to see what was about to happen because really I don't think anybody was.
Nope.
So I sold my stock, making a pretty decent amount of money. I bought it $3, sold it $8.
Yeah.
But now it's almost $400.
Holy shit.
So I could have made some good money.
I mean, I didn't expect any nerds to swoop in and save GameStop, because I think we all, like, deep down kind of hated GameStop, right? They took advantage of, like, gamers, and there's the whole meme.
I like them.
You do? Because I've always heard the meme that you try to sell them back your games and they'll give you like a couple dollars. And then every time I went, every like 10-year-old console or games, they were still like charging crazy prices for. I wasn't huge on GameStop.
Yeah, but what's the alternative? I mean, you can't sell them back to Steam.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Jake, you thought they were a good company? You liked them?
I do. So I know there's a lot of bad to say about GameStop. I'm not talking about them as a company. Like they do a lot of morally gray stuff. But me as a customer, I like GameStop. I never saw the big deal about the trade-in stuff. I don't know why people thought, in general, think. I don't know why so many people think they're so entitled to so much money when they bring their used stuff to a business and say, buy this from me. And GameStop says, I'll pay this much for it. And they're like, how dare you? Like, I don't
dare you, sir.
I don't fucking get it. Like, they're saying, I'll buy it from you for this much. And they're like, oh my God. That thing, I thought that was always so fucking entitled and so crazy. But
it is, but they turn around and they put it on the shelf for like 1,000% markup to what they give you $1 and they put it up for 10.
Same thing
it's actually better
does.
than a pawn shop.
I know.
Yeah,
they give you better prices.
That is always a voluntary thing. If you want more money for it, sell it somewhere else. Or keep your games like a responsible gamer and keep them in your collection. I don't know why people sell games. I don't get it. But yeah.
Or do like offer up or something. Do some like
Yeah. So that whole all the hate on GameStop for the trade-in system, I thought was super stupid and entitled, because nobody is entitled to whatever they want for their used shit. It's just whatever someone's willing to pay for it.
There's no demand.
No, but yeah. But today, walking into a GameStop today, I mean, I can pick up physical copies, which I love. Any console game I own, save for like exclusive stuff, or not exclusive, like PlayStation Plus free downloads and stuff like that. Any game that I want, I buy a physical copy of, and I usually end up at a GameStop to do it, unless it's cheaper online. I go to the cheapest place, but often or not, that can be a used copy at GameStop. I never saw the hate in it.
I just wish it had been like Blockbuster or GameFly. I wish they had like gassed up somebody else. GameStop is not my favorite company when it comes to gaming, and to see a swarm of nerds come in to that company's aid, I was just kind of like, you guys didn't want that company to die and better things to rise up. That's my beef. I don't care about physical copies, so I like digital. I like the other.
You know what I think it is? It's kind of like having it's like kind of still being into your ex. Like they're so mad at GameStop and everything they do, and they're just look at that GameStop. They're just doing their own thing without me and doing whatever they wanted, charging whatever they wanted. God, I wish they were different, and I wish I could still be in love with them. And
I wish they could see my games for what they are. Yes. I wish they could value my games better.
And whenever this comes along, they'll be like, I'll show them. We'll bring GameStop back, and it's going to be what I want out of GameStop. Probably not that. No, I'm speculating like a motherfucker right now. But
if somebody's going to kill your ex, you might stop them. You might swoop in to save them, even if you hate them. You're like, well.
That's it. Somebody you dated 6 months ago is about to be hit by a car, and you sit there and go, All right.
They did sell me a used copy of something. I guess I could dive in front of the car.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the thing about GameStop, it's like not everybody cares about GameStop, right? Some people just go out and buy brand new copies of stuff or buy it online, and that's fine. But you can go to GameStop and get a used copy of the same game for $20 cheaper.
Yeah.
And you can then bring it back later and get $20 for it. And it's like, great. Like, that's awesome. Or, well, $5 sometimes. But the thing about it is a lot of people underestimated the number of people who shop at GameStop and use GameStop.
Yeah.
Like, one of the numbers that I looked at before I invested in GameStop was that they had it was something like 3 million subscribers to their monthly payment thing. Like, where you pay monthly to get a small, 10% discount on stuff. They had 3 million people paying $20 a month to get a 10% discount.
Whoa.
It's like, that's insane. That's unbelievable. They're stable. They're a stable company. They're going to do fine in the future, and they're going to rebound, and they're going to move into that online space with their new leadership. And that's what all of these individual investors, they're called retail investors, were thinking. But then all of the big wig Wall Street fat cats, I like saying that, we're like, no, they're nobody likes those. So we're gonna tank them into the ground by putting shorts on them.
Yeah, it's basically they tried to make them squeeze into shorts because they didn't think they would wear the pants. That's how you explained it. They didn't think they were able to wear the pants.
Because
you can't fit those pants.
Too much fudge heads.
Yeah, right. Because
too much fudge.
They're fudge heads, and they're too big. They're fat
a bunch of fucking
cats.
fudge heads. They're fat cats. They don't fit in their pants anymore, so they wanted shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
And then we go, okay, fine. We'll call your bluff and we'll put you in these shorts. We'll call it the short squeeze.
Right. Squeeze into shorts.
Squeezing into shorts.
We're losing it, boys. Let's leave it.
No, it's 100% accurate.
Let's just leave it to Dave Ramsey and his podcast or something. We are not financial officers. Nobody listen to us financial advice.
Oh shit! Shit!
What?
Whoa!
Again?
Just threw a grappling hook through the window.
Grappling hook?
Here, let me get up.
We need to leave the windows open.
Yeah.
This keeps happening.
Oh, whoa!
Oh,
what? I just caught a drop pod. Somebody just tossed a drop pod up. Oh, and it's like the lines move. I think somebody's climbing up.
Climbing up?
And there it went. Well, anyway, that's whatever that was. Okay, let's open up this drop pod. And surprise, surprise, we have listener questions. This episode's listener question is brought to you by Alleycat's third-party console controllers, proud producer of shitty controllers for younger siblings since 1990.
I love that brand.
I thought they were the only ones that make controllers. That's what my brother told me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This question is from, it's from Dead Horses. I don't know if that's a person or a bunch of dead horses wrote in, but Dead Horses asked...
Motherfuckers.
If you had to switch places with the last NPC you spoke with, what would that look like for you? And also, how would it look for your family? So, there's that extra little piece of meat at the end there, yeah.
Explain your reasoning and cite your sources.
Basically, if you switched places with the last NPC you interacted with, how would it be for you? And how would that look for your family?
So I guess
it's so in depth. I kind of like it, but I kind of hate it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think this kind of depends on is this like a Freaky Friday situation where I'm like me but in the body of that NPC, or is it a situation where I am that NPC and I'm literally now in my family?
No, it's a Freaky Friday thing. It's a Freaky Friday thing. Like, you're talking to stall vendor number 3. Hi, we're all out for today. Come back later. Then whoosh, magic. You're stall vendor number 3 now.
Ooh.
So you become the NPC and then you live your normal life as that NPC.
You're that NPC now. Yes.
In your own, in the real world.
You got 2 lives now. You're the person you were, and now you're also this new person. Well, okay, let's start at the beginning. What was the last NPC you guys talked to?
Webbigail Duck.
Oh, well,
From
I mean,
the game
it does make
DuckTales.
Okay.
I have been secretly playing Shadow of War, the Middle Earth series, where you manipulate orc armies. And the last one was Turk the poison or the toxic something, because he killed me. And I alt F4'd the game because I was super pissed off.
Oh my god.
And he was the last NPC, so I would be... And he's got all these, like, bulbous kind of, what do you call them, warts? These pustules, full of pustules.
Yeah.
And so I would be him. And it might be an improvement.
Oh.
So I am Turk, the pustulating poisonous orc. What about you, Jake?
Well, how would it look for your family, though?
Well, they would be A, dead, or B, I would assume they would also be orcs.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't though. They wouldn't though. You'd be like, "Hi, honey, I'm home," and you're this guy.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. If I take it in a realistic direction, they would scream. They might die of a heart attack. Police would be called. I would run away like some sort of monster movie, hiding my face with a cloak, like Phantom of the Opera style. I would find a secret underground lair. I would begin building an army. I would become a villain. Yeah. No, that sounds pretty good. I would become a villain, and I would
so
abandon...
you'd lean into it.
God, yeah. I mean, I'm the pustulator. I am Turk the pustulator. Of course, I would lean into it. That's a new cool life I'll have.
So you're you at home, but in the body of the orc.
Yeah. I wouldn't just go to my goddamn job. Like, what am I gonna do? Go to work and just like type, pop, wipe the pus off my screen. And try to respond to emails with this smeared screen full of like blood and like no, it would be gross. I would have to become a monster in the sewers because I can't live my normal life. So, that's how it would go. My life would be ruined.
I was envisioning, so I'm me, but I'm in the body of Webbigail in the game. But then Webbigail is in my body at home with my family.
Oh, dude, like that movie.
I
Freaky Friday.
I don't think it's directly Freaky Friday. I think JB, the body of JB, disappears. Your soul moves into the body of Webbigail, consumes her soul, and you are now JB
as
in
Webbigail.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I want it to be like that Arnold movie or that Jet Li movie where there's like an imposter in his body, like where they switch bodies. I'd prefer that.
Is that still just Freaky Friday?
Stop. It's not. All right, go ahead.
So I think it would be fine for my kids. They'd actually get a kick out of it because they like the new seasons of DuckTales. So that would be cool. They'd want to go on adventures and stuff, and I'm a duck now, so like... What else am I going to do?
I mean, anthropomorphic duck?
I mean, is that right? They do, right?
I mean, you would basically be like what they see when they go to Disneyland and they see those like impossible creatures in costumes. They would just think you're like a Disney dude now. It wouldn't affect them at all.
It would be fine. I think my sex life would grind to a halt.
Okay, so I've seen certain Reddit users who have a thing about ducks. So I don't think... Okay, so for your marriage would be in shambles.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cork-screwed up.
Oh,
or screwed up. I meant to say screwed up.
All right, so...
All right. Look up the Wikipedia, Frank.
All I'm saying is, after a very costly divorce, there's still life.
There's life.
Webbigail.
There's life after
Do
that.
I get like the skills of Webbigail?
Does she have skills?
She has lots of skills. She's super smart. She's studious.
Skills.
She knows how to fight. She's like a ninja.
She does?
Mm-hmm.
She's a ninja.
She's basically a ninja. There's a scene in the new series where they're playing like paintball in the house, and she has like the Sam Fisher. She's got like the goggles on, night vision goggles. She's climbing through the rafters, and she destroys everyone.
DuckTales?
Like, she's good. Yeah.
Not the classic that won hearts over worldwide in the late 80s and early 90s. We're talking.
Well,
the
I'm not
newest
alive
reboot.
in the 80s, 90s.
A new
No,
Netflix
alive now.
adaptation.
You're live today. You're live today.
I am live today, so I'd be today's Webigale. I think it would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Being a ninja, having webbed toes, being having my uncle be rich and like give me all his money.
Also,
Yeah.
you would get hired by Disney to run around their theme parks because you would be the actual Webigale, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
Webby for short.
dude, you would be
Webby.
rich. You would be. They would cast you in live action movies, and
Exactly,
the DuckTales.
that's what I
Okay.
was thinking.
The movies, yes, but if all they ever casted you as was a character actor at the park, you'd make minimum wage, and you'd hate your life.
No, it'd
But
be like
it might be the only place that you feel comfortable and at home. It would be the only place where people look at you and go, "Aw," instead of "What the fuck is this ninja duck doing trying to order Starbucks?" I think there's a lot of hurdles in that too.
That's fair.
oh yeah.
Well, I work from home. I order everything from
Fair.
DoorDash, Grubhub. I mean, nowadays you could be a cave monster living in your house, and nobody would really know the difference.
That is true. I mean, there are no silver linings to this pandemic, but it has shown people that you can get a lot done from home.
All right, Jake.
Yeah.
Jake, what about you?
Yeah, the last NPC I talked to was Rosalina.
Ooh.
Yeah, specifically
What game?
from Mario Odyssey.
Oh, cool.
So I guess I would be pushed into the body of a beautiful space princess who pilots a comet observatory that flies by Super Mario World every 100 years. So I guess I'd be magical and beautiful and I guess live
you
forever.
immortal? Yeah.
She might be.
Stop going
And
extreme.
she has an army of little star creatures at her command. So
Whenever you say army of blank at your command, it sounds kind of nefarious. I just want to warn you.
I think it puts on more of a motherly role, and I think I'm ready. I'm at a point in my life where I think I'm ready to open my heart to hundreds of little star creatures and be their mother. I could do that. And I guess as far as how it would affect my family, I think my family would be fucking all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think my wife would be totally stoked if I was a beautiful space princess, to be honest.
You know what's weird is you guys have such optimistic theoretical scenarios of being princesses and ninjas. And I ended up being, what was his name, Turk, the Pustulus. I really need to play more optimistic games.
I think you need some happy games in your
I
life
need
for
some
sure.
happy games in my life.
Yeah, I mean,
Sucks
you could
for me.
you could redefine the interaction because, like, yeah, you died to this dude, but did you talk to him? Did
Yeah.
you engage in a? Oh, okay, yeah, you're Turk the
Yeah,
Pustulus
that's
then.
So while you two princesses are soaring like through the world, I'm in the sewers like plotting my revenge and hoping I can get my family back. Neat. I don't want to.
All right, dead horses. There you
Dead
have it. Hey,
horses.
thanks so much for writing in. That's actually all that we have this week for listener questions. Thanks so much. And I'll turn it over to you, JB. And psych! Fucking surprise segment. This is Extreme
Oh.
Duck Facts.
What?
Y'all get your buzzers ready right now. What's your buzzers? We're going to do it fast.
Diabetes.
All right. So when I ask a question, you ring in with your buzzer as quick as you can. And if you answer, you get a point. And the most points wins, like all games. Here we go.
Nice.
God,
Episode question number 1, Extreme Duck Facts. How long is a ruddy duck's penis?
9 minutes.
All right.
convert
no. Can you convert that to
to metric?
9 seconds.
Goddamn. Diabetes. I assume he's wrong.
3, 2, 1. At the buzzer, nobody gets points. A ruddy duck's penis is 9.8 inches long.
That's what I said.
You said minutes. It's also barbed. All right, question number 2. Extreme duck facts. True or false, ducks have been observed changing genders and fathering chicks.
False.
That is incorrect.
Diabetes.
The answer is actually nope. The answer
True.
is true,
Nope.
baby. No points.
I thought that was seahorses. Seahorses and ducks. What do you
Question
know?
number 3. Extreme duck facts. How many sets of eyelids do ducks have?
Diabetes. 2.
Incorrect. The correct answer is nope. 3. Ducks have 3 eyelids, long barbed penises, and can change genders. Number 4. True or false?
True.
No. If a duck eats a diet of primarily raw meat, they will start to grow small fangs and become more predatory.
Diabetes. False.
That is correct. 1 point to Cowboy.
I really wanted that to be true.
Me too. The
Vampire
final
ducks.
question for tonight's Extreme Duck Facts Challenge. Drakes share this obscene sexual tendency with the likes of serial killers like Ted Bundy.
Diabetes.
JB hit the buzzer.
9 minutes.
All right, Cowboy, you want to take it?
Okay, so
This is the final question for all the ducks.
Drake mainly writes R&B songs, so I don't think he would be a serial killer. I'm going to say false.
The correct answer is necrophilia. Cowboy wins this episode of Duck Facts Extreme Edition.
Well played. Well played, Cowboy.
Nobody's the winner of that game. Oh my god.
All right.
I did
That's
not
it for me,
remember the
actually.
question at all.
That's all I got. That's it.
Whew.
That's amazing.
That made my chest
Oh,
hurt.
boy. All right. Now, before we move on from the very extreme duck facts, we here at Head to Head don't believe ourselves to be the end-all be-all when it comes to passing judgment on video game battles. We are just 3 guys with a passion for video games and implied violence. So, we'd like to extend the gavel to you, trusty listener, to help weigh in on what we call the audience head-to-head. Last episode, we asked you to weigh in on whether Cyberpunk or No Man's Sky had the more disappointing launch. Over 70% of you Cyberpunks voted for Cyberpunk. So there you have it. CD Projekt Red are the bad guys now, and GameStop is going to go to the moon. I'm not sure what timeline we're in, but it's definitely interesting. Speaking of timelines, this episode we are asking what game had the best time control system? Prince of Persia or Life is Strange? You can respond to this question on social media or reach out directly to headtoheadpod@gmail.com.
All right, cool. Yeah. Before we continue, guys, can we talk about the elephant in the room?
What? Where? Why can only you guys see it?
No, I mean the fact that one of us might be a criminal.
You don't actually think it's one of us, do you?
I mean, Jake, you did seem pretty excited when the espresso machine turned up.
Yeah, that's like the Lamborghini of coffee makers, man. What about when you talked about getting back at 1%ers in big business?
Well, that was before big business started paying my bills. I love this company. Hey, Cowboy is being oddly silent. Silence is sus.
No, it wasn't. I was in electrical doing tasks.
What?
Oh, no, sorry, habit. My bad.
Cowboy, didn't you tell me about stealing from several banks?
What?
So I like to take their pens from time to time. Big deal. I mean, Jake robbed a train 2 weeks ago.
Well,
And then he told me about that, and I didn't do anything. I didn't turn him into feds, and you guys think I'm the criminal?
You stole my heart. It was there.
And
I gave it to you.
I
You stole
returned
it.
All right,
that orphan on time.
guys. Yo, enough. Don't you see this is what he wants? He wants to divide us so we turn on each other, and he can have a scapegoat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's only one option. We have to find a goat.
What? No. No, we have to trust each other, and all that, and stick together. It's the principle of the matter, man.
Oh, yeah, but unless we turn someone in, we're all going to be fired.
Wait, guys, I got it. It's Yesman.
Oh, hey, yeah, he's had it out for us since day one, and the boss said he pointed it out. He must have bought all this stuff to frame us.
That's got to be it. So, we are all innocent?
Yes, dude. I told you we were.
All right, listen up, numbskulls.
No, you listen. We're not going to let you turn us against each other.
Yeah, we're more than a corporate podcast. We're a corporate friendship.
Yeah, and this is the part of the movie where we all come together in the final scene to succeed.
Plus, we know who did it. It's Yesman. He's been trying to get us fired for months.
You said he brought all this to you, so it must be him trying to frame us.
But we won't let him, because apes together, strong.
Are you all done?
Also, you'll never take me alive! Yeah, I'm done.
That's some very interesting theories. And I wouldn't put it past Yesman, but here's the problem. I don't even trust Yesman with my lunch money. Besides me, you guys are the only ones with access to your department's funds.
Well, Jake said he stole gum when he was 12.
Yeah, man, I was
JB
12,
hasn't paid his
but you
taxes in
talking-
10
you
years.
I didn't steal money from the business because I stole gum when I was 12, dude.
To blind
Come on.
people and...
Enough! I came here to tell you guys you could stop trying to turn each other in.
Oh. So this was all like a big mistake and none of us are actually guilty.
Oh, man, that's a relief.
You wish. HR informed me I can access the records for who placed the orders, so when my password resets in up to 24 hours or whatever, I'll have the name of the person who's been dipping into the department funds. See you frenemies later.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we all agreed none of us did it, right? So we got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. JB is sus.
Yeah, totally the embezzler. Suspect.
No, I was in podcasts, making podcasts.
All right, folks. Well, while we eject JB from the airlock to see if it's him, let's go ahead and break for a word from our sponsor.
Head to Head, a video game podcast, is brought to you by Head to Head, a video game podcast. We've proven time and time again that Head to Head, a video game podcast, is America's newest sweetheart when it comes to rambling, off-topic commentary, riveting sexual tension, corporate corruption of the highest degree, and hard-hitting video game commentary that leaves it all on the table, no matter how embarrassing it is. Audiences across the world all agree that listening to Head to Head, a video game podcast, leaves you cool, confident, and more attractive to the desired sex. I listen to Head to Head, a video game podcast, and I'm in the damn thing. Join the H2H AVGP revolution every other Tuesday as we dominate your ear holes and leave you thoroughly satisfied and wanting more. Also, if all this has you thirsty for prime audio ad space, this ad and this podcast is for you. I'm looking at you, random weekly food prep delivery service. Yum yum, come get you some.
Duck! That's the theme of the games in tonight's showdown. These games are sure to delight and inspire, but only if you're a masochist, a sadist, and a hardcore duck enthusiast. 'Cause these are the competitors for the title of Most Goddamn Difficult Disney Duck Game. Find out which one takes it on today's Head-to-Head Showdown.
Our first competitor in today's matchup is DuckTales. Released in '89, it's a conservative platformer made by Capcom and licensed by Disney, two of the most greedy evil companies to ever grace your childhood. It stars a materialistic one-percenter duck who jet sets around the globe in search of treasure to fuel his never-ending lust for fortune. You'll be beating back any of the local rabble that opposes you with your only weapon, the ultimate symbol of your status, the diamond-encrusted rich guy cane. Totally relatable protagonist for kids, guys. Well done. Each level includes a different rich guy fantasy, such as seeking out blood diamonds in the African mines, hunting endangered animals in the Amazon, killing Dracula for sport in Transylvania, and evicting Martians from the moon so that you and Elon Musk can start your own new country for the mega wealthy since you've already destroyed the Earth, environmentally speaking. Throughout the levels, ice cream and jewels will just fall from the sky, which is commendable gameplay that simulates how the rich have become blind to their servants and privileges. So yep, Disney, that is definitely the kind of gameplay that everyone can identify.
All right, my dudes, let's talk about DuckTales.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Dun 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 dun. DuckTales.
Cowboy, what'd you think about it?
A woohoo. I thought it was woohoo. You know, what did I think about it? If I have to think back retroactively, it's kind of on par for like Nintendo games, and so I think it was an all right game. I don't know. Are we judging this based on how we would have felt about it in the past, or compared to how it was for the times, or should I give it like that contemporary review?
Let's talk about that. I think we should view it from a lens of the times, right?
Yeah.
Because this was released in 1989. Mm-hmm. We cannot compare this to today's games. We can't compare it to the games in the last 20 years even. 1989 is when this came out. And at the time, this was one of like the premier games coming out at the time.
Yeah.
DuckTales was the fucking Assassin's Creed Valhalla or whatever of 1989, basically.
Yeah.
And
it was big companies making like premier games. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Disney and Capcom, two big boys back. Well, Disney still is, but back then, two big boys coming together to make this game, and it was a critical success. It was Capcom's top grossing game of the time. So at the time, this was king shit, right? But
can I say something about like how games were back then? And I don't want to sound old, because you always sound old when you say back in my day.
Yeah.
But back in my day, companies didn't give a fuck about you and like how easy they took it. They really didn't. Companies nowadays, they give you a difficulty slider. If you're colorblind, then they will give you options to set colorblind, accessibility options, everything. Yeah. Back in the day, companies released games like, fuck you, beat this. And we were like 10. These are some goddamn difficult duck games.
I mean, we are. I was 10 in 89. But yeah, we're not that old.
We're not that old, but 90s games really gave it to you. They just... Man, I was playing this again, and I owned the game back when I was young, so I was able to download a ROM and use an emulator because I legally owned the game.
Of course. Legally.
Legally.
Of course.
Legally.
Legally.
I had to use the save states and stuff. I would have pulled my freaking hair out.
Yeah, me too.
Because they make it difficult on you. It's every game back then was Dark Souls. Like, you want to talk about when Dark Souls started? Nintendo is what started Dark Souls.
It started in the late 80s with every 8-bit game extending its gameplay by being so fucking hard you can't beat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people talk about like Aladdin being the Disney hard game of the 90s, but I think they're sleeping on DuckTales because this was painful.
It really was.
Yeah. Let me tell you a few things I didn't like to answer your question. So I spent the first good 10 minutes of this game not understanding how to use the basic premise of the game. Like, everybody knows jump, but to use your rich guy cane as a golf club, you have to push against the object. If you just push the button without, pushing your body up against an object, it won't happen. So I spent a good 10 minutes of the game not knowing that I even had an attack. I thought the whole game was just jumping. And then in order to use your cane as a pogo stick, those are your two options. Mm-hmm. You can use it as a golf club or a pogo stick. You have to hold down and not press anything. And the pogo stick is everything. Don't even use the other thing. Pogo stick everywhere. So from a design standpoint, I thought it was really dumb. They included two things. One of them is unusable except in areas that you had to use it. And you really just pogo everywhere. Like, am I wrong?
No,
that's the thing.
It's the core mechanic of the whole entire game. Is somehow I don't know. Scrooge McDuck has a cane. What can you do with a cane? You can hit people with it. Nah, let's not do that. Everybody has a sword in a game. No, fucking pogo around. Like, that is, it's the only thing you do in the game. It's all you do. If you're not pogoing, you're gonna die, basically. Yeah. So it's pogo or die.
It doesn't even fit the theme.
And it's also pogo and die.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
And I had a lot of beef with some of the choices that they made. So when you climb the vines in this and you go to jump off them, you don't jump, you drop.
You drop. Yep.
That's gameplay 101 from anything. Mario, from the beginning, the first games. Pong, probably. I don't know if there were vines in Pong, but from the first game on, everybody knows you jump off vines. And here's the thing. They put these vines across a bunch of spikes. You can pogo off the spikes. There's no reason to climb the vines. Like,
that's true.
Massive oversight.
In the very first, the first level list of the Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the box right before it that gives you invincibility, so you just run across the spikes.
Yeah.
And that too. I think they built that part of it, since it was listed first, I think that little piece of that level was more of a tutorial to show you all the shit that's going to happen in the game, which is pogo. Random things will fall from the sky.
Right.
And pogo. And yeah.
Like, what?
I had to Google the controls because I could not get past like the first couple enemies in the Amazon. I'm like, so I start up the game, right? I'm like, okay, DuckTales. I'm running. Oh, there's an enemy. Cool. What can I do? I can only jump. All right, so I probably have to jump on his head.
Yeah.
Nope. That doesn't work.
You did.
Oh, hey, look, I somehow used a golf club. Maybe I have to. And here's what I did for probably 45 minutes is I tried to beat that level by knocking blocks into the enemies.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
And I got decently far, and then I was like, no, this can't be it, because there was enemies that I couldn't get past because there were no blocks to flick at them. So I Google the controls, and I'm like, oh, down and B will make you pogo. And then once I learned that, it got a little bit easier, but then immediately I started fighting harder enemies. And I don't know, I played this game for probably like 6, 7, 8 hours, maybe.
Geez.
And I beat 2 levels. 2 levels.
That's amazing.
And eventually I started using like save states and stuff, but I got so mad at this game.
And you know what's funny? We are in our 30s, experienced with just titles and years under our belt. These were made for kids.
Yeah.
And I'm picturing like the game development studio, and they have a big whiteboard, and they have like this hierarchy of like ideas and controls. Here's what we're going to do. And at the very top of the hierarchy, circled with big black marker, it just says, "Fuck them kids." And like that is the game design premise. Because they have enemies that you won't know about that pop out of the ground and kill you. And the only way to know about them is to have already done that. And so the whole game is built on the premise of just kill them over and over until they can just slog to the end. Don't give them any opportunities to get it the first try. They have to memorize stuff. Like, ugh.
Yep. I always thought that was such a poor game design choice also. The gotchas.
Yeah.
DuckTales is actually fucking full of gotcha moments. There's one notable one where I was getting pretty far in the underground, the African mines. I was getting pretty far in the underground. I even made it to the catapult. I'm like, yeah, let's do this catapult. And I shoot across this catapult. Woo! And I'm going, and I'm like, yeah. And then it drops you on top of an enemy that you just did not know was going to be there. And
right.
Yeah.
It's so disheartening. And there's another level that does that too, where you have to fall down something. And I mean, being an NES, there's screen transitions. You'll fall through something, screen transition, like things like that. And it'll screen transition you right into a fucking enemy, unless you have no idea it's there. Again, yeah, like you said, unless you've done it so many times before. It's extending gameplay through repetition, through artificial difficulty.
Yeah.
I was watching gameplays. I watched gameplays of both of these, and people who know the game, who have intimate knowledge of it, can crush both of these games in like 35 minutes. So, in theory, these should just be quick little tastes, like quick little yum yum. I love this show. Let's play this game real quick. Hey, I was Scrooge McDuck for a little bit. That was fun. Back to the show. In theory, I guess it was supposed to be that, but no, it wasn't. Let's talk about at least the premise of DuckTales. There wasn't any real story. That also brings to light a lot of these games. Their beginner story was hidden in the instruction booklets itself. We're kind of at a handicap where the controls, the intros, all that stuff was written down on paper for you to read before you started. But a lot of us don't have that luxury. So today, when you fire up DuckTales, it's DuckTales, a woohoo, you go. Scrooge McDuck is sitting at his giant money-powered supercomputer with just different places in the world. And you don't know why you're doing it. Surprise, surprise, the entire story of the game is go to all these places in the world so you can become richer than your Scottish... So you can become richer than your Scottish rival, Flintheart, Gloom... Fuck, what's his name?
Gloom Duck.
Is it?
I don't know.
It could be.
Might as well just call him
It was Scottish. It was Scottish McDuck. You try to be richer than Scottish McDuck. So, what did we like about this game?
JB. I mean, I got
JB. What did you like about this game?
Well, something I did enjoy about this game was I got a controller for my phone that I can do. But the problem was I couldn't use my headphones and charge my phone at the same time while I was playing with that controller. So I ended up buying some Bluetooth like earbuds. So that's what I like about this game. I got to use those.
Gave me an excuse to buy Bluetooth.
There's got to be more than that. Come on, dude. This was hot shit in '89. There's things about this game that are
good. Yeah, absolutely.
I
was just messing around.
The music's good. No,
the music's good.
The title
music's
track.
great. No, more than that, man.
No, I didn't like that.
There's a lot of tracks. There's a lot of tracks in DuckTales that are great. It has a really great 8-bit soundtrack. The Moon level.
The Moon level was my favorite.
The music was amazing. The Moon level. Okay, yes. Out of all the levels that I played in this game, the Moon level was the only one that felt really together. A lot of the levels kind of felt, I don't know, weird, disjointed. They weren't that great, I don't think. I don't think they were designed very well.
Nope.
But the Moon level felt like the most self-contained out of all of them. It
also felt like a puzzle, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because there were so many different ways you could go, which in the NES era was just, I feel like, unheard of. This was the AAA platformer of that generation, which is crazy because it's DuckTales.
Light Metroidvania.
It was Metroidvania-ish. It was a multi-level platform level. Multi-level platform level. Where you had alternate paths. There's different things you could do. Another thing I thought DuckTales did well, it was full of secrets. Every single area that you were in, if it wasn't just random diamonds raining from the sky on you, that you had to jump into to trigger, there was a lot of like illusory walls. You could actually jump like off of the map a little bit at the very top of the game, and you could go to different areas by doing that. I thought this was full of secrets and potentially a really fun game to try to like dig around in and explore. And I think it was greatly handicapped by not having some sort of way to save your progress. Like, I mean, they were doing it back then. Mega Man had a password system. There wasn't a save your game, but there was a password system. I think if DuckTales had a password system or something like that, I think this would have been... I think we would have revealed it at least a little differently. Because, in theory, if you die, if you get a game over, you're fucking done. all of your progress through all these levels is back to the title screen. And that is so painful.
Yeah. I think it really like hinges upon a sense of accomplishment because, like I said, with the Dark Souls thing, even Dark Souls has a bit of you have to learn the boss. You got to learn the moves. You got to learn how to counter it and get through. It's not one of those one-offs, defeat him and move on. So I think as kids, like grinding this game, I think because I beat it in about, thanks to the handy reverse time button that I used a lot in save states, I beat it in like 30 minutes to an hour. But I fucking used that button more than jump. It was like constant. But I think back then as kids, like you just beat your head against that wall until you felt really good at the end, until like you broke down a brick wall with your head. You know, your head hurt, but like, wow, holy shit. I broke down a brick wall with my head. I think that's the payoff, you know?
Yeah, I guess there is a sort of accomplishment with that if you can make it through it.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit it felt good, like when you remembered that the ghost will do like 2 small dips and then a big dip, and that is the only time you can get through them. And you feel good, oh, I remembered, he's doing his big dip, run through that. Like the things that we call cheap, you also kind of felt good that you remembered this time around to hit it. And that was a little bit of the essence of Nintendo, so it makes sense that that's why they hailed it as a great game back then, because that's just how they did it, right?
Yeah, for a lot of games back then, yeah.
You just played it and played it again until you had everything memorized and you just were like a master at the game. It's about mastery.
Something else positive that I noticed was that, I mean, it's a DuckTales game, right? But it has all of the DuckTales characters you would expect. And that's something I do appreciate, was that they had Glomgold was his name. So Flintheart Glomgold.
Thank you.
Your arch nemesis. But they also had like... who's the airplane pilot?
Launchpad.
Yeah, Launchpad. Mm-hmm. They had the 3 ducks. They had Huey, Dewey, Louie, but they also had Webigail.
Yeah.
They had Scrooge, of course, because that's who you are. So, and they help you out along your journey. They give you little hints. They tell you, hey, I need a key from here. You have Gizmo Duck shows up to blow up some barriers. So you have that cast of characters that you would expect and you kind of know and love. And while I didn't watch the show back when I was, you know, in that era that the game came out, I watched the show now with my kids, the new seasons, and it's all the same. So I even get like current nostalgia. Is there a word for that? I'm like, oh, it's like reverse nostalgia. It's like, oh, look back in the day they had the same characters as they have on the show now. And it's kind of cool to see, you know, it's been, 30 years? Holy shit.
That's reverse nostalgia. You getting nostalgia for the current show you're watching from playing an old game. That's fucking weird. That's neat.
That's so weird. Yeah, I thought that was a huge positive, actually.
Well, and also these games, you know, we're measuring them on their difficulties. So as much as we hate it, maybe that will help it. You know, the fact that we hate it is kind of like, well, I don't know. Depends on the merit we give it.
It was real hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. Okay. I just want to say, I don't think I hated this game. I probably didn't have a lot of fun playing it, but I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate it. And I think if I played this as a kid, I probably would have thought this was pretty hot shit. So it's hard. It is hard to judge games that are this old.
Mm-hmm. Right. If I would have went into it knowing the buttons, knowing the lore, knowing all the stuff, like riding home from the game store in the car, just, you know, telling my dad, no, I'm not going to lose it. I just want to read the instruction booklet.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want me to open the game. And then get home and finally play it. I think I would have a very different view of it. But my view is kind of, I can't cut out the current level of game creation from today. I get that they were a different era, but I can't separate myself from that completely. I didn't play this game when I was young, so I don't have that connection with it. So I can only really look at it in the lens of, you know, I'm comparing it against Dark Souls and Skyrim and World of Warcraft. Like, come on.
No, they got to be held accountable for them. Fuck them kids mode of development. I mean, admittedly, when I play it now, I think to myself like, fuck this game. But when I was a kid, I probably thought, man, fuck this game, with a little bit of a lisp. So yeah, nothing changed for me. I hate it.
So that was DuckTales, the duck-themed Dark Souls of '89. Hit it, cowboy!
Our second contender in tonight's matchup is Darkwing Duck, another Capcom Disney team-up released for the Nintendo in '92. Look, up in the sky, it's Batman. No, wait, it's Mega Man. No, it's a ripoff of both. Because he is the terror that flaps in the night. He is the nest that holds the egg of justice. He is Darkwing Duck. This cartoon superhero is as competent as an actual duck trying to fight crime, so the developers pumped up the difficulty to simulate his actual ineptitude. It's brilliant. You'll play a night in the life of the masked mallard, platforming through an 8-bit cityscape, fighting crime in classic duck fashion, with a fucking gun. And don't expect this game to throw you any bread either, as it is full of useless power-ups, awkward controls, and cheap enemy designs. The only thing that's easy about this game is the smooth jazz. You'll only overcome this game the same way that Darkwing Duck overcomes anything: blind luck and an insane amount of dying. They just never show the millions of deaths on the animated series.
All right, Kings, let's get serious about Darkwing Duck. So, I think I'll start this time because I feel like you guys really, really, really don't like these games. And I feel like I'm different to okay with some of them. So Darkwing Duck, I'll say it right out the gate. I had more fun playing this game than I did DuckTales. It had a lot of really cool mechanics that I thought were more fun. It's true, a lot of the power-ups suck. Mm-hmm. They just do. But you had a gun. And this was made by Capcom, and they're really good at games with guns, so it really felt like playing a Mega Man Lite to me. It wasn't as good as Mega Man, but it kind of gave me the same feeling sometimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, when a game's a ripoff, it should.
It's not a ripoff. I think it was spiritually inspired by the developer because they make Mega Man. So I think they're like, hey, we made a duck game already. Let's make another, and let's give them a gun.
I mean, I would have liked this game. Had I not been so frustrated, I would have enjoyed it because I like the way it played out. As soon as I started it and he had like a ranged weapon and it felt like Mega Man, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I don't have no weird controls that take me 10 minutes to learn. And the music rocked, dude. I love the music at first glance when I played it, more than the other one. But I died so much. So this would have drove me insane as a kid. I would have pulled my little toddler hair out trying to play this game. This was twice as difficult as the other one to me.
That's so strange, because to me, the other one was like 10 times more difficult than Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck was so much easier, and it was more fun. I don't think I would say it was fun, but it was more fun.
It was more fun. It was both. It was more fun and more difficult for me. But like I said, I had the rewind button. I used it so much on this. I mean, like, I played more rewind than I did forward. It was insane. I don't know how you guys had such an easy time with this.
I wouldn't say easy.
Okay.
I wouldn't say easy at all. The levels are still, they can be punishingly difficult. I did notice, though, instead of having a big branching level, like multiple paths and lots of gotchas and shit like that, I did notice that Darkwing Duck did use a lot of, here's an upper level, here's a lower level, and one of these is going to be easier. It's up to you to figure it out. They did do that a lot. There's a few spots in the game that I don't think I ever would have been able to progress through if I wasn't manipulating it through like save states and stuff. I'll say that right now. There's a few spots in Darkwing Duck that I found would have been fucking impossible to get through. But as a whole, I progressed a lot farther than DuckTales with fewer, I guess, modern cheats, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like I made it to the first boss without having to use any sort of save states or anything like that. It took a while, but I was enjoying myself. But that first boss is when I realized, no, I'm going to have to use save states, because there was no way, based on the health I had going into it, that I would be able to defeat it, because it's just a really, really hard game. It's not easy by any means, but I did not make it to the first boss in DuckTales. But I did make it to the first boss in Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
The levels are more linear, that's for sure. And I kind of like that sort of design in platformers, because it's less... I get actively annoyed when I'm trying to get to the end of the level and I end up getting to a dead end that has like an apple. And I'm like, I didn't want the apple. I don't give a shit about this apple. I'm never playing this game again. I don't want the collectibles. Just get me to the end of the level.
Yeah.
And I did notice in both those games that I would often end in these dead ends where I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so here's something negative about Darkwing Duck, even though I liked it more, was that there were so many times where I'm like, okay, there's a difficult puzzle, like a platforming puzzle over here. I'm going to take that, and I die and I die and I die, and I over and over try again, and it turns out to be the secret. And I'm like, why did I just waste all that time to get to this secret that doesn't matter? Like, it had no effect on the gameplay whatsoever. It was pointless.
Yeah.
And then I would go the other way, and yeah, it was rough. What was that level? The Amazon, I'm pretty sure. Not the Amazon, the forest level.
The forest, yeah.
Yeah, basically the same. There was that waterfall gotcha moment.
Oh my god, where you just fall
pissed me
through
off.
the ground?
Yep, you just fall.
That was such cheap level design.
Yeah. Let me say a couple of things that really annoyed me. Some of the enemies were so useless in how many times you had to attack them. Like, there's one enemy that you have to jump up next to him, hold up your cape so that he can throw a dagger at you, and then you can get 2 shots, and then he'll throw up his cape. And so you just kind of trade. You wait for him to throw the dagger, you shoot him during the opening, and then he pulls his cape up. You have to do it like 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? I mean, once I have the pattern, I should only have to do it once or twice. There's no reason to draw this out. It's just repetitive and annoying.
I feel like that's a Capcom thing, because that same exact fighting pattern.
Padding.
Yeah, well, yes, it's to make you progress slowly through that little section for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Capcom thing though, because that happens in Mega Man. It's specifically only being able to attack when the other enemy is attacking at the same time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Mega Man did that a lot. I think that's like a Capcom thing.
My issue was how long they made me do it. Because then you also had the guys with the flamethrowers who pop up. You have to attack them during their attack, but you had to do it like 3 or 4 times again. And
there's tons of enemies like that. The turtles who throw their shells.
Yes.
It is the ultimate padding. And I remain, padding is bad. Padding back then is what Division bullet sponges are now. It's cheap. It's not engaging. Those turtles were so... And you half the time, I thought, okay, I'm just missing a trick. Like, maybe if I turn around and hold my cape up, I will rebound the shell away from him and he'll be open and I'll feel good. No. The cape only blocks like half the shit. Fireball comes at you, you pull up your cape thinking it'll work. Nope. Fireballs don't block. Okay, what about the shell? Shell don't block. What about this bullet? Okay, that bullet blocks. What about the dagger? Doesn't block. Like, you can't pick and choose that, because then I'm not going to know. I'll have to, like, try it out and then memorize that, and I hated it. I'm rambling because I'm passionately hating this.
Yeah. I have to confess something. I never knew that cape thing blocked. I thought it was just a fun thing where you flip your cape around because he has a cape and he's... Yes, and he's Darkwing Duck and he does that stuff. Because look, his idle animation is him sitting all sassy with his hands on his hips, and I'm just like, yeah, he's a sassy boy. I had no idea it was a gameplay like mechanic.
I had a very similar situation. So I defeated the first 2 bosses that I chose, and I had to defeat them with save states and everything, but I got through 2 of the bosses and I got stuck on the 3rd level where there was that, I keep wanting to say Gizmo Duck. It's not Gizmo Duck, but it's like a robot blobby dude who ducks down and dodges your bullets.
Oh, the bouncy guys. Yeah.
The bouncy guys.
I mean,
I got to them using my save states and I couldn't get past them because I only had half of a heart. and I only had one save state, and I couldn't figure out how to get past him because he would dodge all my bullets.
Yeah.
And I tried for so long trying to jump over him, but it was impossible. Before I realized that you had special weapons that you could use if you just hit the select button.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I was playing the game on super hard mode. So after I learned that, I was like, "Oh, this game's so much easier now." It was a nice moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow your mind real quick. The bouncing blobby guys. You quick jump and shoot, and you have to hit the little blinky thing on top of their head, and that's how you hurt them with your regular gun.
Oh, you mean the guys where you shoot them and then they duck real quick?
Yeah, the big bulbous guys who bounce down.
You can't defeat them.
No, you can. I accidentally
it's a
figured
quick
it
hop.
out.
It's a quick hop, and you
No,
shoot.
I did that. I jumped. I ducked. I did this for 15 minutes.
I'm right with you, JB. I accidentally killed them once. And I was like, wait, what was that? And so I tried it a few times, and then I realized you have to precisely hit that little glowing dongle on their head.
Yeah.
And there's not much that will clue you into that. So I thought what you had to do was shoot them so that they duck and then hop over them. Like you were saying, I think.
Yeah,
but no, it turns out you were playing on hard mode.
No, you can only defeat them if you use a special weapon. That's what I learned.
No,
That's what I learned. Little tiny, quick little hop and shoot in that little half step between a big jump and a regular jump. Like it's just above a regular bullet, and it'll get them.
Yeah. But here's my thing. So, a lot of that, like you said, spiritual successor to Mega Man 2, a lot of that felt just kind of a little bit like a ripoff. Like, even all of the enemies felt like they were little robots that could totally appear on Mega Man. So, I think, honestly, if you reskinned... did I say Mario? No, I said Mega Man. If you reskinned Mega Man into there and took a few of the ducks out, I might not notice the difference. So I think they leaned too heavily on it.
I think this would make a shitty Mega Man game.
I agree.
Here, okay, so talking about nostalgia and stuff like that, I started thinking about that because when I was a kid, if it wasn't Mario, it was Mega Man for me. Fucking loved Mega Man.
Oh, yeah.
I rented Mega Man more than anything else for the NES and the Super Nintendo. I had to ask myself, it was before the podcast today too, and I was sitting there going, was the original Mega Man this corny and this hard, and was my favorite game as a kid really just kind of hard and bad? So I fired it up Mega Man 2, and it rocked my fucking socks.
Yeah,
Mega Man holds up.
The music was so good, and the level was so good, and I was just fucking kicking dick, and I beat a boss, and I was like, nope, that's just a really good game.
Yeah, I feel like Mega Man is in the same realm as Super Mario. It just holds up. You can play either of those games today, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, so this game ripped it off poorly, but I still maintain that it tried to rip it off, and it felt like it to me. It felt like, with the weapon switches and all that.
There's a few things that makes it really hard. Namely, your health. In Mega Man, you have that big health bar, right? You could take a lot of hits. Mm-hmm. Darkwing Duck, 4 hits.
Yep.
Speaking of, in DuckTales, you start with 3.
Yeah.
And it's done. But Darkwing Duck can only take 4 hits. Sometimes it's generous with health pickups. Sometimes it's not. But you got to go through that whole place just hoping you don't get hit. And man, do you get hit sometimes. It's hard. It's hard. I will say, okay, here's one thing that I actually did appreciate. For an NES game, I thought most of the bosses were actually pretty creative, especially over DuckTales. The bosses in DuckTales are boring and dumb, and they do nothing, but they just run into you, and it hurts you, and you die. Darkwing Duck's bosses were creative. They all had their little puzzles to solve. They were hard, but they were really fun and engaging to beat. And I'm definitely going to give props to Darkwing Duck for that.
I agree.
I'm going to raise a small beef alert, though.
Beef alert!
Beef? All the bosses, if I remember, most of the bosses then in Darkwing Duck really hinged upon that drop-through mechanic where you could drop through and then drop down. You know what I'm talking about? That
terrible thing?
Yeah, Darkwing Duck hangs. Classic games, to drop through, you hit down and A, and it'll hang, and so you go to hit down and A again to fully drop. But down and A makes you jump back up. The only thing you can do is hit just down with no A. So you have to hit down and A and then just down. And my brain is so trained from modern games that every time I would just jump back up because my brain says down and A make you drop. But
I did that a lot too. The
bosses.
The fact that you have to let go of down to hit down again, that was the most annoying thing in that entire game.
I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you making me switch up the buttons and punishing me if I don't? Just make it the same thing. Do you guys remember that boss with the robot, and he had these like control panels that shot lasers while he jumped up and down?
Moriarty, where they shot fireballs at you?
Yeah, they looked like server racks up on the top, and then he was like a robot running around on the bottom. There were only 2 levels.
Yeah. Wasn't it 3?
Maybe 3.
I feel like it was 3, and he could jump between them.
3, it is 3.
So if it was the one that looked like a server rack and they shot fireballs at you?
Or fireballs or something, boops, I don't know.
If it was that guy and he ran around and fixed them when you broke them?
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, there's only 2. It's a high and it's a low.
Two up high, 1 low, yeah.
Yeah, but that dude, all you had to do was break his machine and bait him up there and shoot him a bunch, and then he jumps back down.
Well, I didn't know that for a while, so
Oh.
I did. My strategy was the scene from the Marvel movie with Doctor Strange and whatever that big monster is, where he just goes into a time loop. And I lived a million lives. I died a million deaths.
You bargained with Moriarty?
That's how I played that, because I could...
Moriarty, I'm here to bargain.
Yeah.
This game took me an hour. 30 minutes is what I probably spent on that battle, until I found out you can shoot his machines.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know you could shoot his...
You bait him into... They all had a gimmick. They all had a gimmick.
And when
I just dodged. I played it like the tree level where, like, was it a woodpecker? Or some shit.
Oh, it's oh my god,
the tree shot fireballs at you.
Well, yeah, it's I can't remember his name right now. It's the duck. He's the poison ivy
tree duck.
He's the tree duck. Yeah. And he summons a tree arm to throw stuff at you as he jumps around.
What it is.
Yeah.
Their names
I played it the same way. I just dodged those and then jumped to his level, shoot him, jump down.
That one I think is what you're supposed to do.
I died so much. I literally half an hour on just that boss. It's like I feel like somebody froze time and I lived out a life where I got married, had kids, those kids and wife died, and then I'm on my deathbed, and then I come back and it's like in that moment I lived a million lives.
Oh my god.
It was so brutal on me. And whenever you jump down, he jumps up. And you have to just kind of, as far as I thought, you had to nail him in those precise moments of him crossing paths in air. And you can't let him touch you. And again, back in the day, developers circled the big ol' fuck them kids. And that was game development.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about kids back then. And it shows through our games.
All right, that's Darkwing Duck. A pretty decent game. It might be harder, it might not be, but fuck them kids. Who cares?
Well, now we know what's good, what's bad, and what matters. As always, our contenders will be awarded trophies based on the 3 categories of... What is that?
What's what?
Oh, never mind. I guess... Oh, damn it. That's a knock at the door.
Someone's at the door. I'll get it.
Almost did it. Almost got through it.
Hello.
Oh,
yeah. Good.
Hey, Terry.
It's Terry.
Hi,
Oh.
I'm Terry.
Yeah, cool costume. Yeah, he's dressed like Darkwing Duck, man. Okay.
Oh, that's accurate.
I would have been here sooner, but I had a slight climbing accident.
Oh.
That's interesting. We saw somebody have a climbing accident out the window earlier.
So, what brings you here, man? We're trying to wrap up the episode.
Well, I was told I could come on here and provide some more entertainment. I've written a new story.
Oh. Did the boss say you could be on here?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Pull up a seat.
Well, yeah.
Thank you.
It's we're kind of running like a clean show today. It's okay. It's clean. You know, PG rated?
Yeah, why not?
Good, that sounded confident. All right.
This story is called Double D.
Oh, boy.
Is that the name of one of the characters? Because I'm not familiar with the characters. Okay.
Launchpad looked at Donald with a look of anger in his eyes. Donald, why? How could you? I'm sorry, Launchpad. Sometimes my anger gets the better of me, and I end up making a mess of everything. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Launchpad could tell Donald was being sincere, but he was too angry to back down now. Plus, he always got a bit of pleasure from seeing Donald exasperated.
Jesus. Yep.
There it is.
How could you possibly make it up to me? That was a collector's item, a one-of-a-kind, signed Darkwing Duck NES game, mint condition, never opened. I can't believe you broke it. To the right investor, it was worth at least $100. I said I was sorry. Wait, I have an idea.
It was a weird mix.
With that, Donald got out of Launchpad's bed and started to leave.
What?
Wait, you can't leave. You're not wearing any clothes.
But ducks don't wear clothes.
Ah, phooey, Donald said. As he looked down at his completely naked body, he put on a shirt and a hat. Much better, he said to Launchpad.
Donald ducking it.
Launchpad never understood why Donald never wore bottoms. Maybe there was none his size. That's the part of the reason that he proposed to Donald years ago. That hog he was packing was ridiculous.
Oh, no.
There's pigs involved now? He's packing a hog to leave in a suitcase?
A few hours later, Launchpad hears a knock at the door. It was Donald, but joined by another figure. In the dark, Launchpad couldn't tell who it was. Who is that with you, my lover? Cooed Launchpad. The stranger answered, I am the pizza delivery man with extra sausage.
Oh, no.
I am the washing machine you get stuck in.
No.
Oh, no.
I... I am the plumber here to lay down some pipe.
Yeah. I recognize these catchphrases.
I am Darkwing Duck. Oh my God, is it really you? Launchpad broke into tears at the realization. Donald, you were able to bring Darkwing here? How did you accomplish that? For you, Donald said, I would move heaven and earth.
Oh,
I'm trying to picture Donald Duck talking like that.
Was it hard? Launchpad asked. This time, Darkwing answered, Yes, it was. He looked down at Donald's crotch.
No.
Why do you think I came?
God damn it, you promised, Terry.
Oh, Terry.
The end.
Oh, God damn it. That plot was actually pretty good, for the genre.
So,
Thank you.
the content's questionable, man, but that was... That was riveting.
Thank you. I'm trying to expand my art.
I like the double entendres, or maybe single entendre. I don't know if I'm supposed to take it literally.
It was very literal. He had a big hog.
I think it was. It's right down the middle right there.
Ooh.
Oh, all right, Terry. Thanks, man. That was
something.
That'll probably get us censored, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good seeing you. I guess I'll get the door.
Yeah, thank you. I'm on crutches, so I can't open it.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you keep those tail feathers in? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Terry.
Bye, Terry.
Well, let's go ahead and go from that award-winning story by Terry and transition into our actual awards for tonight for the art trophy, the fun factor, and the game design. Jake, why don't you take our mind off what we just heard?
Yeah, okay. So, game face, baby. All right. All right. I'm up first with the art trophy, baby. Both games feature some of our favorite early 90s cartoon ducks and bring them to life with fun sprite animation reminiscent of their characters. Limited by their NES capabilities, of course. Both games have fun music tracks, but DuckTales sneaks ahead with tracks like the Moon Level and, of course, that classic theme song from the cartoon, A Woo. One more time, baby. A woo. One.
Are we supposed to join you on that?
No. One game was simply better about almost everything else, gameplay-wise, or game-wise, however. I mean, it's Darkwing Duck. The levels and sprites are more intricately designed and detailed. Fun animations like the Thunderquack flying over St. Canard when choosing a level and zooming off on his motorcycle. The Ratcatcher are great additions that bring to life Darkwing's capers. And DuckTales simply never made me feel like I was watching the cartoon come to life the same way that Darkwing Duck did. And for that, Darkwing Duck takes the art trophy.
Next up, I'll be taking the Fun Factor trophy. Now, to be fair, I don't think I would describe either of these games as fun. But I did beat one of these games and rage quit on the other pretty much. And that alone means my Fun Factor trophy goes to Darkwing Duck.
All right, I'll go ahead and round things out with the game design trophy. Now, Darkwing Duck had a lot of frustration in some of its controls and its enemies, and the bosses were the absolute worst, and a lot of frustration coming out of it. The drop-down not being mapped to the same buttons, the cape only interacting with half the bullets and reflecting them. But by comparison, DuckTales also didn't seem to know what it wanted to do. It depended heavily on just the pogo stick and a lot of backtracking. So I'm going to go ahead and give this game design trophy not so much to one game, but just exclude it from the other, which is going to be DuckTales, the most frustrating and poorly designed game of the two. So I give the game design trophy to Darkwing Duck. And those were the trophies for today's showdown, which show you where each game excels, but now it is time to cast our vote to find out which will be the final winner for the title of Goddamn Difficult Disney Duck Game. Let's go ahead and start the voting with Jake.
Darkwing Duck, baby.
JB.
I'm giving it to Darkwing Duck.
And I'm going to go ahead and give DuckTales the big middle finger because Darkwing Duck rocks and fuck 1%ers. Darkwing Duck wins. Hit the music.
Yay! We did it.
That's it.
Another one in the history books, baby. And this is kind of controversial. I'm going to say it because DuckTales is, again, critically acclaimed. It has a huge fan base. It got an HD remaster where they completely remastered the game. It has cutscenes. It's a really good looking game. But I think the three of us found out tonight that there's a better duck game that nobody talks about.
Which is Darkwing Duck? Or is there a third duck game?
Oh, it's totally the duck game, right?
Duck Simulator 2021.
It's the Goose Game. It's the Untitled Goose Game. No, it's Darkwing Duck, man. Darkwing Duck is totally the better duck game of the early 90s on the NES. It just is. The level design is better. The mechanics are better than DuckTales.
It's cooler. It's like how
cooler.
Sonic was for like the episode we did against Mario, and Sonic had like that, that sunglasses leather jacket. I feel like Darkwing Duck is that sunglasses leather jacket combo. It's the cool duck.
Thank you all for sending your listener questions through our social media. Once again, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram. That's about it. And you can also check out our website, head2headpod.com, or for the lazy ones like me, h2hpod.com.
Yeah, we have a thriving Facebook community you can visit.
Yeah, fuck Facebook. Yeah, please do hit us up on Twitter and Instagram, though. Cowboy mains Twitter, I main Instagram. Come say hi to us.
Mm.
Also, want to throw out a big thanks to Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song. That's I Can't Break off the album Heart of the Juggernaut. Buy it on Bandcamp, listen to it on Spotify, and say hi to him on Twitter.
And as always, thank you guys for listening. We produce this content free of charge for you guys. So if we even got one laugh out of you, hell, maybe even two, then this was for you. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and giving us a reason to even do this. If you guys could, in return, rate, subscribe, follow, just push all the buttons you see. Any button you see, just push it and just build us up. And if you really care, which you should, go ahead and share us with your friends. Just kind of throw out a tweet, tag us in something, recommend it casually with your real life mouth. Just get us out there so that we can entertain more people.
Real
and
life
always,
mouth. Sorry.
It's
spread us
accurate.
with your mouths, baby.
And to do that, you're going to have to do one thing, and that's get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody!
Good night. Or morning.
Hasta mañana.
Gut Montag.
Buenos dias.
Ja, Heiligenstick.
Sir, your password reset has been completed. You should have access to the personnel records now.
Oh, good. Thank you, Yesman.
Very good, sir. Give those thieving lowlifes from the podcast department a good one for me. After
Oh, that's enough of that. Now let's take a look at who done it. Oh, all right, let's see. Wait. Why? Why, this is my name in all these. There must be some sort of... Wait. No. Oh, I remember now. I got drunk and skimmed a bunch of money from the podcast department. Yeah, that was me all along. Oh, good old me. Damn, looks like I forgot to change the delivery address for all those goodies, too. Oh, what to do now? Guess I just gotta be the boss, own up to my mistakes. I'm gonna admit what happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Podcast department? Yeah. Listen up, numbskulls. I got something to tell you. It was Yesman all along, yeah. He's an expert conman and a brilliant hacker, yeah, right. He masterminded the whole thing all along. He totally tried to frame you guys.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so good to hear. I've been stress puking about this all day, and I...
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'll have someone by to collect all my stuff. And, have you guys signed a statement and NDA and, yeah, alright, good talk. Okay, bye. Ooh, nailed it.